How are you today? This is Rich Laster with GrowExpand.com. We are coming to you live. It is noon, and at noon every Wednesday, we're going to jump into your life. Probably enjoy a cigar. Uh, that's definite, isn't it? If you know me, you know I love cigars. So today, what we're enjoying is the 10th anniversary of the Drew Estates Underground. This is um, by far the best underground that they've produced since starting the line probably more than 10 years ago. Um, well, 10 years ago, 10th anniversary. Um, Listen, when it comes to cigars, everybody is different, right? You like what you like, and that's fair. Um, this is a medium body smoke, um, not very strong on the tobacco, but great complexity where uh, flavor profile is concerned. And that complexity is something that you can get with a mild cigar like a San Cristobal Elegancia, um, or a full body cigar like the 2015 um, Opus X Forbidden, which I was blessed with by a very dear loved one recently. Enough about cigars. I am, wait. Yeah, that's delicious. So, we're not here to talk just about cigars, but we're here to talk about setting expectations. There are two of you out there so far. Hopefully, more people will join us. If you are on YouTube, you have the ability to go in and post your comments or your questions, and I will answer them right away. So, we're going to get into talking about setting expectations as entrepreneurs, not just for yourself, but for the client also, so that everybody's on the same page. And we're going to do that right now. Hey, welcome back. So, we're talking about setting expectations today. Um, the biggest challenge in setting expectations for many people is this act as if mindset that a lot of us come out of college with. It's you're not there, you're not really strong at your game yet. You're working on it. You want to work on it, and that's great. But check for questions. All right, cool. And that's great. But in the interim, what can you do? What are you good at? What is your level of expertise? This is major, right? Because what we see a lot of times, especially in sales, which in the tech community and all other business communities has kind of gotten sales professionals a bit of a bad name. Let's change the degree of that light. There we go. Um, which has gotten some sales professionals a little bit of a bad name is the bullshit. Don't BS people, right? Be honest. And when it comes to setting expectations, the main person you need to be honest with is yourself. What can you do well, right? That's at the crux of every business anyway. What do you do so well that people will pay you for it, right? Like, what are we doing? What are you doing so well that people will pay you for it? Um, so, if you're aware of that, when you're interacting with a client, you know what you can and can't promise. If you can touch the ceiling, promise that you, and the ceiling's 10 feet high, promise 8 feet, because it might be a bad day for you. It's always better when setting expectations to set them a degree, uh, let's see here. All right. To set those expectations a degree lower than what reality is, because what if you set the expectation here and you get here? Well, it looks like a breach of integrity. It looks like you said you could do something that you couldn't. That's horrible, right? So, on the part of being the professional, delivering the service or offering the product, what you have to do is, and how do I put this nicely? You have to manage your integrity and your reputation by under promising and over delivering. Okay. You also have to, and this is the client side of this conversation, you have to be a bit of a mind reader. I did a presentation um, a little while ago, and the topic was how can we help this company? And we went deeply. I spent 15 minutes on sales cycle. I got confirmation from the prospect. Okay, our sales cycle is about 15 to 18 months when it comes to developing new relationships and onboarding those people. All right. Flip side was they recognized that there was probably not a major effort being put into driving the results that they were looking for. Here's the mistake. When you talk about it with the client, make sure that you document it, right? So that as you're doing your service, as you're building or providing or developing your product, you are in line with everything you talked about. And they're in line, right? Remembering, how do you remind a client how long their sales cycle is, right? If it takes 12 to 18 months, which is normal, especially in the B2B community, if it takes 12 to 18 months for a qualified lead to onboard, right? Because you got to build relationship. It's not a bang them over the head, close, close, close kind of situation, right? You got to build relationship. They have to see you, one, as the expert and the professional, right? They have to see you as both the expert and the professional. And then you can count on them being onboarded. Now they're onboarded. Well, how do you communicate and keep them on that page where they are aware, like, I'm doing XYZ for you. The goal is to, one, drive results and growth. Um, but two, to attempt to shorten the sales cycle, right? Oftentimes, especially in the services community, oftentimes sales cycle gets ignored by the client, because they presume, because you are an expert, that this sales cycle thing won't be a problem for you, and that's total bullshit. Okay, a sales cycle is a sales cycle is a sales cycle. B2B sales is primarily about relationship and specifically about value. If you are not communicating clearly the value that you add, the way you help, you're, you're going to have a really hard time selling anything. Okay. But when it comes to setting expectations, discuss, right? So put out there what you can do, not the 100% effort what you can do. Cut that back a little bit so that you're under promising, so that you have the opportunity when you rubber hits the road, you can over deliver. That's number one. Discuss it, right? In fair, reasonable, hell, you it's probably a good idea if you're even a little conservative, right? Discuss it, document it, and then manage to it, right? So that they are forever in the loop, right? And pull no punches. Be direct, be honest, keep them aware of, hey, well, you said this was a 15 to 18 month sales cycle, you know, expecting to see results in 30 to 60 days is a little unrealistic, right? That's me saying it nicely, right? And that's what you want to do. All right. So, thanks for tuning in. Um, Short and sweet is probably the best way for me to do these every week. But again, I'm here to help. So, now, here in the chat, on Twitter, wherever, want to hear from you. What other topics you want to hear about, what you want to learn about as far as driving sales and driving growth in your business. Remember, if you're not making sales, nothing else matters because business is about making money. What you do with the money, baby, that's up to you. But let's uh let's make the money first. All right, enough of me. A word from our sponsor. For all your cigar swag and cigar style needs, visit smokeblack.com. Thanks for having us. And subscribe and tune in next week.